Everyone, Coach Seth here on why your meal prep sucks and how to fix it. The 5 common mistakes for fat loss meal prep and how to fix them. So I'm Coach Seth, weight loss expert. I've worked with over 10,000 people, and today I'm going to go over exactly why your meal prep sucks and how to fix that to make sure that you are getting your fat loss. Today's training, we're going to go over how to fix your meal prep if it sucks and the 5 common issues when it comes to meal prepping for fat loss. So if this is one of your first times listening to me, my name is Coach Seth, weight loss expert, work with over 10,000 people remotely, successfully with weight loss transformations, and I'm gonna give you the knowledge to make sure you get the results that you want today. So before we get into that, fat loss, meal prep, all this stuff, we need to have some basic understandings. So the first thing we need to understand is that if we're trying to lose weight, right, we need to be on what's called a calorie deficit. So put this in Barney term, right? Calorie deficit means that you're intaking less than what your body needs per day, right? So if we're trying to lose 1 pound, right, we need to be underneath 3,500 calories for the week to lose 1 pound per week. So simple math there, not getting into any issues with metabolism, any medication, any of that stuff. So if we're going to be in a fat loss meal prep, we need to make sure that we are keeping ourselves in a calorie deficit, right? So how this comes into play is that there's 5 different things that most people have issues with, right, when it comes to meal prep. So mistake number 1, where most people mess up, right, is that they have overcomplicated recipes, right? So mistake number 1 is recipes are too hard. Look, make it simple. If you're trying to lose weight, the idea is to make sure that you can be consistent with what you're doing. Now, if a recipe calls for 6, 7, 8 hours of meal prep, and it's only for 1 meal, odds are probably not gonna make that meal again. So the best way for you to do this, right, is to keep yourself from burning out. So what you want to do is you want to choose a couple recipes that are easy to grab and go. So mistake number 1 is find your grab and goes. So, and this goes for, if you are someone that likes breakfast, if you're someone that likes lunch, dinner, and maybe snacks, right? So have these things that you already know what you're going to eat. You already have the things already set for you to be successful, right? If you overcomplicate the recipes, if it takes longer than 30 minutes to cook, if it's, too many issues, then that's where it's going to get really confusing. You're going to get burnt out way too quick, and then you have a frowny face. But we're here to have a smiley face, right? So how do we fix this? How do we fix the recipe issues, right? Is we want to make sure that we have a template that we're following when it comes to meal prep. So I have a couple templates that you're welcome to have if you want it. In the comments below, say me, M-E, I'll send it to you. You can have it for free. It will definitely help you. It's helped a lot of people. But you want to make sure that you have something that you're following, right? So which goes into number 2 is we want to make sure that we are planning. So if we're not planning properly, so not planning our meals and we're just winging it, nothing's going to happen. Again, we're going to have a big frowny face. Things are going to get very frustrating. We're not going to have the stuff that we need, right? So having some kind of plan in place, right? Having a plan in place that goes with your grab and goes makes things easier. So plan correctly for what you want. Plan for what you need. So if you know that you need to increase your protein, then you probably shouldn't focus on, low protein meals, right? You should probably focus on something that's going to increase your protein, right? It's pretty common sense. Common sense goes a long way, folks. Where a lot of people have issues is they overthink it. So planning properly, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are creating some kind of weekly system here. So planning your meals out Monday through Sunday, You know, even if it's just starting off, is I will eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then a snack. Even if it's just this every day, we can figure out what is good for us, right? And then we can figure out what we need to take away. That way we can adjust our weekly meal plan and focus on this stuff. So I'm not saying you need to follow a diet. What I'm saying is you need to follow a system. That's where all my clients are super successful. The ones that have lost 50 or more pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds, is they follow a system. They follow my system. It's very successful. So if you're someone who needs to lose a lot of weight, listen up, right? Because I'm spitting facts here. Hopefully you're writing them down. Luckily for you, it's on video, so you can rewatch it. Hashtag rewatch. All right, so the next thing that most people have issues, right, is that they're over-portioning, so too big of portions, right? So, and that's where having the right system in place, whether you're using the measuring cup, whether you're using, tablespoons, whether you're weighing your food, your portions are all out of whack, there's nothing makes sense, right? And you're having a big frowny face because of that, because you're gaining weight instead of losing weight. So the best way to do this, right, the best way to do this, make sure you have your portions, at least starting out, right, is have your correct portions. Number 3 here is you have this thing called a hand, right? It is a perfect portion thing for you. You can figure out exactly what you need, right? I'm going to do this Barney style for you folks. Put the marker down. All right, so if you're portioning out your fats, focus on your thumb, right? So if it is a liquid fat, if it's a peanut butter, right? You want to have about your thumb size, even if it's like cheese as well, a little block right there. That would be a good portion of fat. If you're looking for protein, focus on your fist, a deck of cards, right? About 4 to 6 ounces, depending how big you are. Odds are if you're a bigger person, your fist can be bigger, so you're going to have a little bit more, right? Kind of common sense, right? Same thing with your fruits and veggies. Use the palm of your hand, scooped up. I'm not saying when you go to a restaurant, you grab, a handful of rice and say, that looks good, and you start eating it right there. That's your portion. People are looking at you weird. Don't do that, folks. So make sure you have the correct portions. Use your hand model. I have another training for that. If you want it, let me know. Say me, M-E. I'll get you that along with the template for the meal plan and all that stuff, right? So within number 4, where most people mess up, I know me as well. I'll bring this up here so you can see it, is that there's no variety, no spice of life, right? So if you eat the same thing over and over and over again, right, you're gonna get so sick and tired of it. You're just gonna get frustrated. You're gonna hit your head against the wall. You're gonna lose traction. You're gonna get burnt out. That's why I talk about the first one, right? Find your easy grab and goes. You're wasting too much time cooking, then you're not going to want to do it anymore, right? So same thing, you want to have some variety, and that's where having the template that I talked about is going to come into play. All you got to do is a nice little matrix. Some of you have had it already. The salad matrix is awesome, especially when you're going out to eat. You don't know what to get. You don't necessarily have to have a salad, but you can use this to get you exactly where you want to be. So have some variety, have some spice of life. It's going to help you out. So then number 5 here, we want to make sure that we are prepping everything and anything, right? So that means we want stuff out of sight, out of mind. So no bad things, right? So if you have issues with drinking, snacks, cookies, etc. Give me a little mustache there, folks. Get that stuff out of here. We don't want it here, right? So make sure that stuff that you have in-house, right, is good things. Things you should focus on, right? You want to have low processed foods. If it comes in a bag or a box, you don't need it. You want to have some higher protein items that keep you fuller longer. And if you are going to have carbohydrates, if you are going to have fruits and veggies, right, we want to make sure that we have fresh stuff, fresh things, right? Again, common sense goes a long way. Foods, right? But, that being said, sometimes, we want to make sure that we have good snacks around that aren't necessarily diet-esque, right? If we want a brownie, if we want a cookie, we need to find those recipes, find those things that are going to make sense. right? So luckily for you, you're listening to me, and I have a huge database of all these fun things that you can have for free. So all you gotta do is in the comments below, press me, M-E-M-E, and I will reach out to you, get you rock and rolling with all those great templates. So, but let's recap today's training, folks. So find your easy grab and go thing. So that means for your breakfast, lunch, dinners, and snacks. That way you're not thinking too much about it. It's out of sight, out of mind. Make sure you're planning correctly. All right, so we have 7 days to plan for. What are you gonna eat? The better you plan, the easier it is for you to follow the plan. If you don't plan, you're gonna fail. It happens 100% of the time. Make sure you have the correct portion. Again, using that hand portion if you're not weighing your food, good place to start. Have variety is what you're eating. If you are tired of eating chicken and rice, chicken and broccoli, steak, eggs, all that stuff, have a template that you can follow, have it for free, and me, in the comments below. And then have the good things in your diet. Make sure you have low process. If it's in a bag or a box, odds are you don't need it. If you can't pronounce 3 of the things, the ingredients, throw in the trash. It's not good for you. Right? But that being said, folks, if you do have those things around, I'm not saying that you can't eat that stuff every now and then. We just want to make sure that we're planning and have everything set up for success. All right, folks, well, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. That is the training for today. And before you go, I'm going to be starting a back-to-school boot camp. So if you are in the Wayne County, Worcester area, and you have some kiddos going back to school, and you're trying to get back in shape, let me know in the comments below. Put school. And I will get you the details on that. You'll see a lot more posts coming up. But stay classy, folks. Don't be trashy. And if you need anything else, let me know. Peace.